So we have here a 2011 Sportsman Quad 500 high output that shortly after we got it used, discovered that the cooling fan wasn't working, so the machine was overheating periodically, showing the high temperature light on the dashboard. So we wanted to troubleshoot this and try to determine what the problem is. So after taking the front cover off the body here, if you look into the front there, you can see the fan. First thing we did is we disconnected this switch, and I'll reach down and I'll disconnect it. So there you can see it's now disconnected. That goes to the fan motor. Check that with by shorting it out to a battery, and discovered that the fan does work. So the fan motor was not the problem. It was obviously not getting electricity to the fan through here. So to figure out that, we'll just hook this up again. The second thing you can do, we'll come around to the other side here, is this is a thermostat that comes from it's a temperature sensor from the coolant in the motor. And this is probably what activates the light on the gauge when it overheats. But if you unplug this, apparently the default position, and you can see there's a little connector there. If you just pull that out, it's a plug, and then start the or just turn the key on. When that's unplugged, the default position is that the fan should run. So we disconnected that and the fan did not run. So this was not the problem. So the next place to look was the second thermostat, which is on the radiator itself. And you can see it, not well, but right there. Now this, we've already fixed this. So normally there will be a wire coming out here that plugs into this. And you see we've, I'll unplug it to see what it should look like. So it should look, you know, this is the plug coming from the engine, and this plug is what used to be attached to the thermostat on the radiator. We cut it off after we discovered it wasn't working. So first thing we did is we just checked the integrity of this, and electricity won't run through there. In other words, it's just short. The wire's broken somewhere in the thermostat. If you, and the motor, once the engine was heated up and warm, if you check these leads for 12 volts, in fact, there is 12 volts coming through them. But it was being blocked once it hit the thermostat. So to bypass that, we took our old plug after we cut it off, jumped it so that it's shorted through, and then just connect it on. So you could do this a quick fix in the field if you had to, or as we're going to do once we get a new thermostat, we're just going to put this little tail in the toolbox in case the same thing happens out in the field. So now plugged in, and if you turn the fan on, you can see it's running. And just to prove that that is the problem, if we unplug this, the fan stops. So simple way to troubleshoot your fan problem. If that doesn't work, of course it could be a relay or fuse further in the machine, which I believe there is one, but in our case that wasn't the problem, and it was a pretty simple fix. Now we just have to get a new thermostat. Thanks for listening.